Imagine a world on the brink of transformation, where a fledgling nation stretches its wings amid the roar of cannons across the Atlantic. It is 1805 and the United States, barely a quarter century old, stands at the crossroads of destiny. Under President Thomas Jefferson's steady hand, America navigates uncharted territories at home, while the tempests of European war threaten to engulf its sails. This year would etch indelible marks on the map of history, fueling dreams of manifest destiny and sowing seeds of future strife. The year opens with bold strokes of expansion. On January 11th, Congress carves out the Michigan Territory from the vast Northwest, a move that signals America's insatiable hunger for land and signals to native nations the inexorable push westward. Just weeks later, on February 11th, amid the frozen plains of the upper Missouri River, Sacagawea, the young Shoshone interpreter, guiding the Lewis and Clark expedition, gives birth to her son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau. Meriwether Lewis himself assists in the delivery, a moment of profound humanity in the wilds that underscores the expedition's role in weaving personal stories into the fabric of national exploration. In Pennsylvania, February 15th sees the formal founding of the Harmony Society, a communal Christian group led by George Rapp, who leads hundreds from Germany to build a utopian haven free from worldly temptations. Their experiment in communal living reflects the era's ferment of religious revival and social experimentation, drawing immigrants eager to craft a new Eden on American soil. March brings political drama to the young republic. On March 1st, the Senate acquits Supreme Court Justice Samuel Chase of impeachment charges brought by Jeffersonian Republicans, who accused him of partisan bias. This narrow victory fortifies judicial independence, ensuring the Supreme Court remains a bulwark against fleeting political passions and sets a precedent that the judiciary shall not bend to the whims of the executive or legislature. Days later, on March 3rd, the Louisiana Territory emerges from the Louisiana Purchase Lands, a sprawling domain that doubles America's size and ignites debates over governance in the vast interior. Then on March 4th, Thomas Jefferson takes the oath for his second term as president, with George Clinton stepping in as vice president, replacing Aaron Burr in a shift that hints at the rising tides of factionalism within the Democratic-Republican ranks. Jefferson's address urges unity and frugality, but beneath the words lies a vision of agrarian empire, where yeoman farmers till the soil of a continent-spanning republic, as spring thaws the rivers, adventure calls. On April 7th, the Corps of Discovery, led by Captains Meriwether Lewis and William Clark, departs their winter camp at Fort Mandan, pushing upstream along the Missouri with Sacagawea and her newborn in tow. Their journey embodies Jefferson's scientific curiosity and imperial ambition, charting rivers, cataloging flora and fauna, and forging alliances with tribes like the Mandan and Hidatsa. By June 13th, they behold the thundering Great Falls of the Missouri, a spectacle that tests their resolve but confirms the waterway's promise as a highway to the west. Across the seas, America's first overseas military triumph unfolds. On April 27th, in the sun-baked sands of North Africa, U.S. Marines and Berber mercenaries stormed the city of Derna in Tripolitania, capturing it in a daring raid during the First Barbary War. This victory, led by Lieutenant Presley O'Bannon, hoists the stars and stripes on foreign soil for the first time and inspires the famous line in the Marines' hymn, "To the shores of Tripoli." The war, sparked by Barbary pirates preying on American merchant ships, ends triumphantly on June 4th with a peace treaty that secures safe passage for U.S. vessels without tribute, affirming the young nation's resolve to defend its commerce on the high seas. Yet, as summer fades, the expedition presses on through rugged canyons and grizzly-haunted mountains. Lewis and Clark's men portage around impassable rapids, trade with the Nez Perce, and endure starvation's grip, their journals brimming with wonder at geothermal wonders and towering pines. Their perseverance mirrors America's spirit. Resilient, inquisitive, unyielding, November crowns their odyssey. On the 7th, after crossing the Bitterroot Mountains and descending the Columbia River, the Corps catches its first glimpse of the Pacific Ocean at the mouth of the river they name for explorer Robert Gray. Rain lashes their camp on the Oregon coast, but joy swells as they vote on a winter site, Clatsop Village, where even the enslaved York and Sacagawea cast ballots, a fleeting echo of democratic ideals in the wilderness. This achievement not only maps the continent's spine, but fuels the fever for Western settlement, transforming vague dreams into tangible trails. Far from these triumphs, the old world's shadows lengthen over the new. The Napoleonic Wars rage, with Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte's Grande Armée sweeping through Europe like a scythe. In October, as Louis gazes westward, British Admiral Horatio Nelson shatters the Franco-Spanish fleet at the Battle of Trafalgar on the 21st, off Spain's southern coast. Nelson's innovative tactics, breaking the enemy line in 2 columns, secure British naval supremacy for a century, but at the cost of his life. For America, this victory tightens the noose on neutral trade. Britain's unchallenged fleets now board US ships with impunity, impressing sailors, and seizing cargoes bound for French ports, eroding the freedom of the seas Jefferson so cherished. Undeterred, Napoleon pivots to land. On December 2nd at Austerlitz in Moravia, known as the Battle of the Three Emperors, he lures Russian and Austrian forces into a trap, feigning weakness on his right flank before unleashing a devastating counterattack through the Pratzen Heights. The Allies shatter, losing 36,000 men to France's 9,000, forcing Austria to sue for peace and dissolving the Holy Roman Empire. This son of Austerlitz bathes Napoleon in glory, consolidating his continental dominance. The ripples reach America swiftly, with Napoleon master of Europe's heartland and Britain ruler of its waves. Both powers scorn neutral rights. French privateers and British blockades ravage US merchantmen. A British court that year declares even goods rerouted through American ports fair game for seizure if originating in French colonies. Trade, America's lifeblood, hemorrhages. Exports plummet as captains fear the lion's roar and the eagle's claw. Impressment claims thousands of American sailors, fueling outrage that will boil into the War of 1812. Jefferson's dream of peaceful commerce phrase, compelling the nation to arm its navy and ponder alliances it once abhorred. Yet in 1805's forge, America tempers its identity. From Michigan's birthing pains to the Pacific's salty embrace, from Tripoli's dusty ramparts to Europe's echoing thunder, the year weaves a tapestry of audacity and anxiety. It whispers that the United States, though young, is no longer a mere spectator. Expansion beckons, but so does entanglement. As Jefferson retires to Monticello, pondering the Missouri secrets, the nation hurtles toward a destiny where rivers meet oceans and ideals clash with empires. In the annals of time, 1805 stands as a hinge, swinging the door wider to the west, while winds from afar howl warnings of storms to come. Storms to